The heavy rumble of a diesel engine shakes our bamboo gate. Outside, the courier truck is already parked, kicking up a thick cloud of red dust that drifts toward the wooden porch. But inside the dimness of the house, nothing is ready. Tu Na stands in the center of the living room, her face pale, swaying back and forth with little Henry crushed against her chest. He is burning up with a sudden violent fever. His small hands grip her shirt so tightly his knuckles are white, his cries reduced to breathless, exhausted wails. Just a few feet away, the desktop computer monitor casts a cold, unsympathetic blue light across the room. 20 shipping labels. That is what stands between the survival of our farm's new cassava flour contract and complete failure. 20 digital labels that still need to be generated by 4 Wiretap PM. Welcome back to our home. If you've been following our family's journey, you know we pour everything into this land. But today, the land isn't the problem. The problem is right here, in the space between a mother's breaking heart and a ticking clock. When a business deadline collides with a sick child, something has to give. The afternoon had started like any other. On the low wooden table, a small bowl of scallion porridge sits completely untouched, the steam long gone. Beside the door, Henry's tiny yellow sandals are kicked off haphazardly, a silent reminder of how quickly the day turned upside down. Just 2 hours ago, he was chasing chickens in the yard. Now his cheeks are dangerously flushed, his breathing shallow and hot against Tu Na's neck. Usually, farm life allows for flexibility. If the rain comes early, you harvest late. But the export business we've bled to build doesn't run on the farm's rhythm. It runs on corporate schedules and unforgiving logistics. The meticulously sealed bags of premium cassava flour are stacked perfectly on the front porch. They are the result of 3 weeks of backbreaking labor. But without those 20 pieces of printed paper, they are useless to the courier idling outside. The isolation in Tu Na's eyes is palpable. She is completely alone. 2 miles down the dirt road, I am stuck at the main warehouse, my hands covered in grease, desperately trying to repair a blown hydraulic line on the farm's only forklift. I have no idea what is happening at the house. In a family business, there is no IT department, no backup manager, and no shift cover. There is only the family, and right now, the entire weight of our shared dream rests squarely on Tu Na's trembling shoulders. She looks at the analog clock on the wooden wall. The second hand sweeps forward relentlessly. It is 3:45 p.m., 15 minutes until the courier leaves, with or without our shipment. Tu Na tries to take the most logical step. She slowly, painstakingly walks toward the corner of the room where Henry's wooden crib sits in the shadows. She whispers soft, soothing lullabies, her voice cracking slightly under the pressure. She leans over the railing, supporting his heavy, feverish head with one hand and his back with the other. She attempts the delicate crib transfer, the impossible maneuver every parent knows, trying to lower a sleeping, sick child without waking them. But the moment Henry's back makes contact with the mattress, his eyes snap open. Absolute terror flashes across his face. He doesn't just cry, he screams in pure, breathless distress, terrified of being separated from his mother's warmth for even a second. His arms reach up, grabbing frantically at empty air. Tu Na freezes, her heart shattering. She immediately scoops him back up, burying her face in his damp hair, murmuring frantic apologies. The crying slowly subsides into a pathetic, exhausted whimper. Then the sound tears through the heavy afternoon air. Beep, beep. The courier driver leans on his horn. He is impatient. The dust is settling, and the engine is revving louder. Tu Na stands in the middle of our wooden house, trapped. The heavy bags of flour wait on the porch. The empty crib mocks her. The blue light of the monitor blinks, demanding data she cannot type. The anxiety in the room is suffocating, thickening the air until it is hard to breathe. In the past, she would have abandoned the computer. She would have let the truck drive away, sacrificing the farm's hard-earned reputation to rock her child in the quiet dark. But the stakes are too high now. The farm's survival, Henry's future, it is all tied to this one shipment. The courier's horn echoes a second time, a dull and heavy sound punching through the thick wooden walls of our home. Tu Na stands frozen, staring at the empty wooden crib. A quiet, heavy realization settles over her. In the early days of our marriage, the choice would have been simple. A sick baby meant the world immediately stopped. The farming tools were dropped in the dirt, the soil was left unturned, and the orders were simply cancelled. We accepted the financial losses because family always came first, and our needs were small enough to survive the setbacks. But as she looks from her flushed, crying son to the blinking cursor on the screen, the harsh reality of our growth becomes undeniably clear. The rules have changed. The meticulously sealed bags of cassava flour sitting on the porch represent weeks of backbreaking labor, but they also represent our integrity. If she cancels this shipment, we lose the export partner. If we lose the partner, we lose the stable income that pays for Henry's future. The very business we built to protect him is now demanding she divide her attention while he is hurting. It is the cruelest paradox of providing. She cannot abandon the work, because abandoning the work means abandoning his security. She must evolve. She turns her back on the crib. With a slow, deliberate exhale that releases her panic, she walks toward the desk. Tu Na pulls out the worn office chair. It squeaks softly in the tense silence of the room. She sits down, adjusting her posture. Instead of trying to put Henry away, she pulls him closer. She gently maneuvers his small, limp body until he is resting fully against her chest, his ear pressed directly over her heart. She wraps her left arm tightly around his back, tucking his legs firmly against her side. Her left arm becomes a physical shield, a warm, secure cradle that promises him he is safe from the chaos. She leans back slightly, finding a fragile point of balance in the old chair. Henry whimpers once, nuzzles his hot face into her collarbone, and finally closes his eyes. She is holding her entire world in her left arm, and with her right arm, she reaches out toward the cold, unforgiving plastic of the keyboard. People often romanticize the idea of the work-from-home mother, especially on a farm. The internet paints pictures of peaceful mornings, effortlessly answering emails while children play quietly in a sunlit garden. The reality, at least our reality, is built on pure, unglamorous grit. There are no soundproofed quiet rooms here. There are no ergonomic desk setups. There is only an exhausted woman, forced to bridge the gap between complex logistics software and the raw, primal need of a sick toddler. Tu Na stares at the spreadsheet. 20 different tracking numbers, customer addresses, and exact weight variables. Managing this data requires absolute, unbroken focus. Comforting a feverish child requires absolute, unconditional empathy. The mental compartmentalization needed to do both simultaneously is a staggering feat. It is a testament to the unseen, silent strength of working mothers everywhere, who silently hold the sky up while the rest of the world demands results. The profound silence of the house is suddenly broken by a slow, deliberate sound. Clack. A heavy pause. Clack. Tu Na's right hand hovers awkwardly over the keyboard. She is typing with a single index finger. Clack. She inputs the first address line. With every keystroke, she gently sways the office chair from side to side, creating a continuous rhythmic motion to keep Henry asleep. Clack, clack. It is agonizingly slow. Her eyes dart frantically back and forth, down to Henry's chest, ensuring his breathing remains steady. Up to the glaring blue screen, verifying a 12-digit postal code. Down to his flushed cheeks. Up to the shipping weight column. The physical toll begins to show. The intense heat radiating from Henry's feverish body is immense, soaking through Tu Na's shirt. A single bead of sweat forms on her chin, hanging there for a second before dropping silently onto the wooden desk. Her right shoulder aches from the unnatural twisted angle, but she does not stop. She does not stretch. She barely blinks. Clack, clack, clack. 5 labels done. 10, 15. The cursor blinks relentlessly, dragging her forward line by line. Every single keystroke is a brutal battle against her own maternal instinct, which screams at her to lie down in a dark room and simply hold her baby. But she pushes the instinct down, burying it under the sheer force of necessity. She is no longer just a mother comforting her child. She is the only firewall standing between our family and failure. The final 12-digit code is entered. The cursor blinks steadily at the very bottom of the page. Tu Na takes a slow, shaky breath, her right hand trembling slightly from the unnatural strain, and clicks print. The old office printer whirs and then roars to life, breaking the tense silence of the room. It begins spitting out crisp, white labels one by one. The mechanical sound is loud, but Henry just sighs softly, his feverish head resting safely against the steady rhythm of her heartbeat. Just as the final piece of paper falls onto the tray, heavy footsteps pound across the dry dirt yard. I burst through the front door, my chest heaving, my hands still deeply stained with dark forklift grease. I had sprinted 2 miles down the dusty road, consumed by the agonizing certainty that I had failed them. I was terrified that the truck had left empty, and that our fragile contract was permanently lost. But as I lean heavily against the wooden door frame, desperately trying to catch my breath, I stop dead in my tracks. The courier is still outside, patiently waiting by the gate. And there, in the dim, quiet light of the room, is my wife. She isn't crying. She isn't panicked. She is sitting perfectly still, gently rocking our sleeping son with her left arm, while a neat, warm stack of 20 printed shipping labels rests right beside her hand. The silent awe that washes over me is impossible to fully describe. In that single frozen moment, I truly see the sheer invisible weight she carries to protect our shared dream. A few minutes later, the courier truck is fully loaded. The loud diesel engine revs, and the heavy vehicle slowly rolls away from our bamboo gate, taking our farm's future safely with it. The thick red dust finally settles, and the golden late afternoon sun filters gently through the wooden window slats, bringing a deep, quiet warmth back into the heart of our home. Tu Na doesn't even glance at the computer screen anymore. The business is done. She simply bows her head, burying her face deeply into Henry's soft hair. She is completely exhausted, yet fiercely victorious. The suffocating panic of the afternoon has melted into a profound, healing peace. We realize today that the shipped product is merely logistics. The true success of building a life together isn't found in perfect crop yields or flawless business schedules. It is found in the quiet grit of a mother who refuses to let the storm break her family. Tomorrow, there will undoubtedly be new seeds to plant, more broken machinery to fix, and the fragile balance of farm and family will surely be tested all over again. But as long as we are holding on to each other, we know we can weather absolutely anything the seasons bring. Leave a warm comment to let Tu Na know she isn't alone in this unseen struggle of motherhood. Subscribe to our channel to join our family's journey as we continue building this farm, one quiet victory at a time.